Hey there, Patty Dominguez here, episode 92 of the Position to Profit podcast. I'm happy you are here. In this episode, it is a solo show. I am going to be sharing with you one of the best trainings that I took back in my corporate days that I apply literally on the daily in my coaching practice since 2013, and it is a training that I have in Prolific Cafe, so I'm going to synthesize it here for you. And what this is going to do is provide a way for you to engage, for you to connect at a greater level with the people that you're speaking to. It is the way that you are going to get out of your head when it comes to connecting with people, especially if you're like an introvert, or you're like, oh my God, I hate to talk to people, or I don't want to really put myself out there, or I'm just too shy, or I'm not quite sure how to carry or move a conversation. And I get it. Well, kind of. I get it because I have a son who is an introvert. He's like, God, Mom, I really hate small talk. And you know what? I get it. So I was explaining to him this one training that I took, and I also share it over and over again in Prolific Cafe, which, by the way, is the best membership for women entrepreneurs. If you haven't already checked it out, head on over to prolificcafe.com. It is a beautiful community, and we're always looking to improve and support, and everybody's moving forward, and it's just the best. So again, prolificcafe.com. That is my absolute shameless plug for Prolific Cafe. All right, in this episode, again, I'm going to be sharing this training. You definitely want to check out the entire thing because, again, it is going to help you move from silent, awkward, don't know what to say state of mind to, hey, I can connect with anybody. And so it is a training that I took once upon a time. I think this was like in my early career. So it was like mid 90s, it was like late 90s, like back 1998. Okay, this is circa 1998 training, people, that still has legs, that still is going to dazzle you when I drop this awesome way to connect. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Don't forget the cafe call, by the way, is April 21st, thecafecall.com for an AMA open style call. All right, and with that, here we go. Hey there, I'm Patty Dominguez. You're about to discover what it means to position your brand and your business to stand out. This show explores the stories of small business owners just like you who are bringing their message out to the world and impacting their tribe. So if you want to take your business to a category of one status, then hang with me because this podcast shares everything you need to know about how to be more prolific with your brand so that you can have more profits. All right, so the training of all trainings. Okay, this was back in, so I took a look, and I literally have a folder here in my archives just because I was so impacted by this training. I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. So I'm going to share a story with you first. Back when I was in corporate, there was a period of time at the company that I was with that there was a lot of changes happening, right? So anytime in corporate, they tell you everything's okay, just keep doing what you're doing because there's some kind of a reorganization or some kind of a merger or some kind of an acquisition, a lot of people are in total freak out mode. And so back during that time, there was a lot of changes happening. And I remember, and I will never forget, the woman that I reported to at the time, she went into a meeting and unceremoniously was let go. Okay, it was just brutal, real cut and dry, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And I remember that when I went into the meeting with this higher up person who was very, very cut and dry, didn't care to get to know you. It was all about results. And what I did is I modified my communication to meet the way that she wanted to receive the information. And what transpired after that is that I was singing her song. I was relating to what was important to her. Because the fact of the matter is we're all walking around with that saying, as you know, the what's in it for me channel. And when the truth or the fact of the matter is people are operating this way, when you understand that, it really helps. And what I did is I brought in this training that I took, again, once upon a time, And I don't remember who the company was, so forgive me forever because I don't remember. Here's the gist of it. There are, in essence, at a macro level, at a high level, there's 4 personality types, okay? So if you were to take a square, so take a piece of paper, draw a square, and then draw a cross in between so that you have a quadrant. You have 4 squares, okay? And in the upper right-hand corner, you write the word driver. And right below that, lower right-hand side, you write expressive. And then on the other side of that is amiable. And in the upper left-hand side, you're writing in analytical. So these are the 4 personality types, okay? And the first one is driver. And a driver is no bones about it. They don't want to get to know you. They want the key takeaways. So these are people who are key takeaway people. They don't want to hear about your fishing trip. They just want to know how many fish you caught, right? Can you relate? Do you know somebody who's like that? They typically talk fast. So if you can't tell already, I'm a driver. But I will explain a little bit more in just a minute. So a driver, they like bullet points, key takeaways. They don't want to go into the fluffy stuff. Okay, that's a driver. The next one down, as I mentioned, is an expressive. An expressive is really a connector. They're very much the life of the party. So when you go into a cocktail party, they're the ones that are just, bringing in the jokes, connecting with people, super fun. They're the ones that start to dance on the dance floor. These are the expressives. Okay, and then right next to that is amiable, and amiables I always equated these people in corporate to, they are the worker bees. They keep things going like a well-oiled machine, right? They're the ones that bring the potluck to the potluck party. They're the ones that are like organizing and helping after the fact, right? They just want to help, and they're just good people, inherently good people. And then the last one is analytical. And the analyticals are the ones that usually get frozen with analysis paralysis. They like data, usually an accountant or some kind of statistician, very left brain analytical. And these are the 4 types of personalities at a macro level. Now, if you were to take those 4 squares, right, that I talked about, that you're creating on a piece of paper. So you do the square and then you do the cross in between. Now take those 4 squares and in each one of those put a little cross. So you have a little subquadrant. And then you're just repeating that cycle. You're doing driver, expressive, amiable, and analytical. So I'm a driver foundationally, but I'm an expressive. I love to connect with people. I love making jokes and keeping it fun and light, etc. So I'm a driver and I'm an expressive, but foundationally I'm a driver. So why I say this is because whenever you are working with a client, don't make it about you. So I may be a driver expressive, but if I have somebody that I'm speaking to who is an analytical, I can tell by the questions they're asking. I can tell by the way that I need to coach them is they're going to want to know numbers. They're going to want to have qualitative information and quantitative information, right? Or they may be processors. So I have to be open and amenable to serving up the information that I want to share with the person on the receiving end. I don't make it according to how I want to share it. I make it according to how they want to receive it. So if I have somebody who's in front of me who's a driver, they want, again, key takeaways. They want the bullet points. They want to know what's in it for me. Give me the key takeaways. I don't want to get to know you, Patty. I don't really care. And that's just the way it is. Then you have other people who are the amiables, right? They want to know. So I have Prolific Cafe. They want to know about the community and what kind of other things are available as part of the community. They want to know what kind of ways I am contributing. So they want to be a part of something, but they want to just kind of lay low. They participate. They're excited about it, but they're easygoing. Then you have the expressives. The expressives want to get to know if, for example, if there's going to be a party, is there going to be a retreat? Are we going to be connecting at a conference? Like they want to party. They want to have fun. They want to make it fun. So if you have a course or something like that, and you can add an element of fun and add an element where there's prizes, or you're gamifying your course, they're going to be all about it. They love that aspect of it. From an analytical standpoint, they're going to want to know, well, how many people have gone through the course and how many people completed it and what is the success ratio? And they're going to want the spreadsheets according to that. So these are the different types of personalities. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I see time and time again that people serve up their content according to how they like to receive it. And in all fairness, you're missing the boat, because when you modify things, if you are on a coaching strategy call, let's say, and you are looking to connect with a prospect, a really good prospect, you're going to understand what is it that makes them tick. And so the process of asking questions, by the way that they're answering the questions, you're going to know how they like to receive information, right? So if you ask them, well, how did you connect with me? What is it that stood out, or how can I support you? And then they really start to talk about the quantifiable things that is a gap in their business, you're going to know, okay, this person's pretty analytical. So the whole point here is that you want to understand personality types before you sell your thing, before you're pitching your thing, so that you know what to serve up. Now, one note or one caveat here, or I shouldn't say caveat, I should say one important note is there are people who are the same personality type, their foundational personality type, and then their sub quadrant, okay? So anytime, like I said at the beginning, where there was that boss who would just unceremoniously was firing people, that story that I told at the beginning, this person was a driver. Somebody who's a driver, they will steamroll over you and don't care how they get the results. They don't care. They just want the results. And they are the Sharky type of, no holds barred. I will cut you if you get in my way type of attitude. Okay, these are drivers. Somebody who's an expressive, they may have a lot of monkeys in their head, and it's really hard. It's kind of like herding cats, where you can't really corral the energy, and they're all over the place, and they're probably not going to get a whole lot done because they can't focus. So a whole other topic for probably another call is they need to find the who to help them to do the what, right? They're going to need some help because they have a lot of monkeys in their heads. And then the amiables are the ones that are probably a doormat. They don't stand up for themselves. If they get any objections on a sales call, they're like, okay, this isn't for you. Like, they just have a lot of room to develop their craft, to develop the way that they're going to show up, in order to build their brand, in order to build their coaching business. And there's a good chance that they struggle a lot because they're kind of a doormat in the process. And then the analyticals are, quite frankly, the hardest people to sell to. Anytime there's an analytical, yeah, I could say that. It is really hard to close that deal because they are overthinking, left brain, show me the numbers, show me the data, show me everything. I'm a robot. And it's really hard to sell to these people. So this training that I took and just understanding those 4 personality types has been a game changer for me, because I am able to serve up the information in the way that the people want to hear it. And I can tell what they're looking for by just asking some questions and really seeing. And you can catch it by the cadence in which they're talking, or the way that they look, or the way they process. I mean, there's so many different ways to really gauge the way that somebody's going to receive information. And it's been so powerful for me to connect at a greater level, because so in that process, when somebody tells me, wow, I feel like I really know you and I just really gel with you, It's not because I'm so fabulous. It's because I'm able to connect to the way that they want to receive information. And that's super powerful. So I hope this helps you. I hope this quadrant exercise helps you, because you can even incorporate that. And I talk a lot about that in Prolific Cafe, where you can incorporate that into your email sequences, right? If you have some kind of a promotion, make sure that you are serving up these emails in a way that connects with people depending on their personality types, right? So there's going to be different ways that you can really engage with people in a greater level, so that they're connecting with you, so that they're understanding you, so that they are ultimately saying, oh my gosh, I trust you. And what you have shown me, or the way that you're serving this up, really makes a lot of sense. And boom, there you have it. You've connected with someone who is not necessarily your personality type, but because you've been super aware of what they are looking for and how to serve it up to them, you're going to connect with them and, of course, ultimately sell to them if they know, like, and trust you. And so I really believe that this is something else that accelerates that KLT process. So there you have it. That is my corporate training that I took that changed my life forever, because it really has. I can go into any situation and I know that I'm going to be okay. I know that I'm going to have the range, whether they're an analytical, whether they're an amiable, whether they're an expressive or a driver. I can meet them where they are. And there's something super powerful about that. And it helps you have clarity and confidence and, of course, courage, so that you're like, yeah, I'm going to connect with this person. No big deal, right? So I hope this helps you. And as always, let me know what you think about this on social. Thank you so much for the tags. I so appreciate them. I look forward to them. And I really, really am so thankful when you all say, oh my gosh, I love this episode, or this one idea, I took it and I rocked with it and it made me money. So those are always really fun. Also, if you do like the show, if this is resonating with you, will you please leave me a review? I was just thinking about that. Like, as much as I love the shout outs on social, if you can give me a review on Apple, like, that would be amazing. On iTunes, I would so appreciate that. And I even say that in the outro. So yes, head on over, give me a rating and review. I super appreciate it. And with that, I will see you on, not see you, but I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great one. Thank you so much for checking out the Positioning to Profit podcast. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new episodes. And also, it would mean the world to me if you would take a quick moment to leave a rating and review on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcast player. It really helps to get the word out about the podcast and, of course, the featured guests. And lastly, please make sure to connect with me on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, I'm on all of them, and use hashtag positioning to profit so that I can search you out and connect that way too. All right. Thanks so much. See you next time.